One question I get asked all the time by technical salespeople is, how do I choose the right vacuum pump for my customer? This video will focus on 5 important tips for any technical salesperson who wants to provide the right vacuum solution to their customer. Number 1, the first thing to know is what type of technology your customer is currently using. Is it a rotary vane, oil injected screw? Could be a liquid ring. These are all different types of technologies that are available to your customers. Then ask what kind of problem or issues they are experiencing with their pumps now. Maybe the pumps are unreliable. It could be that they are costing them a lot of money in maintenance. Or maybe your customer is looking for a more energy efficient system. This is all important because your vacuum solution should focus on the problem that they are having. Number 2, ask to go see the pump installation in person. By seeing the pumps, you will understand the customer's process better and how the customer is using these pumps. Ask them if you can take pictures of the installation, and remember to gather all the information off of the equipment data plates, concentrating on the motor nameplate as well as the serial numbers of the pump. Number 3, it is critical to know what is the required operating pressure. Typical vacuum measurements will be in inches of mercury absolute, millibar, torr, psia. These are all possible measurements. Ask which one your customer is using. If they don't know, go look at the gauges near the pump or possibly the gauges near the application. Number 4, what is the capacity or flow that they need? This will determine the size of your pump. Ask if it's in cubic meters per hour, ACFM. You need to know whether they're measuring the flow at the inlet of the pump or at the application. Understanding this will help you pinpoint the right pump for your solution. Tip number 5. This last tip is extremely important. You need to understand how wet or dry your customer's process is. Depending on how wet or dry it is will determine how the pump is set up. For example, if it's wet, we may need to install liquid separators before the pump. If it is a dry and dusty process, we may need to install certain filtration before the pump. It is important to avoid as much contamination getting into the pump and contaminating our oil and our sump. So there are my 5 main tips when looking at a vacuum solution for your customer. This is a good place to start, but I've also attached a downloadable sheet that you can look at with about 12 other questions that you can take a look at, review, goes into a little bit more detail, and you can apply it to your application. But just remember that at Atlas Copco, we can provide you with the right solution for your application. And if you have any questions or you need any more information for any vacuum solutions, please feel free to give me a call.